A long time ago, in a peaceful village called Ukonu, surrounded by tall trees, sweet mangoes, and a river that hummed like a song, there lived a young girl named Nena. Nena was the only child of Mama Okoro and Papa Okoro, two hardworking farmers. They planted yam, cassava, and maize. Even though their hands were rough from farm work, their hearts were full of love for their daughter. Nena wasn't just beautiful, she was breathtaking. Her skin shined like fresh palm oil. Her eyes sparkled like river water in the sun. Her lips were red like ripe cherries, and her thick, black hair flowed down her back like night. People in Ukonu used to whisper, "The gods took their time to mold this one." But there was a problem. Nena's heart was full of pride. Her beauty became her mirror, and in her mirror, she saw no one else but herself. Every morning, while other girls fetched water or helped sweep the compound, Nena would sit in front of her small mirror, a gift from a traveling trader. She oiled her skin with palm oil, brushed her hair with a smooth cowtail brush, and smiled at herself. She would whisper, "Who is more beautiful than Nena? Nobody in this village. I look like a queen. I must marry a king. Not just any king, the richest, finest, strongest king ever born." One morning, Mama Okoro came into her room with a tired look on her face. "Nena, please help me peel the yam. Your father is almost back from the farm." But Nena frowned. "Me? Peel yam? These fingers are too pretty for that kind of work. Let Chinidu or Ifioma do it. Their hands are not as soft as mine." Mama Okoro sighed and walked away quietly. When the girls in the village went to the stream, Nena stayed back to polish her toenails with crushed hibiscus petals and palm oil. When women cleaned the village square, she stayed home, posing in front of her mirror. Even the mirror, they joked, must be tired of seeing her face. At first, her friends still loved her. But when she stopped helping, stopped greeting them kindly, and began laughing at them for marrying poor men, they grew cold. "Look at you, Zoba," Nena laughed one day. "Your husband rides a bicycle with a flat tire. And you, Isioma, your man doesn't even have shoes. What a joke." Her friends walked away with heavy hearts. They cried in secret. But in truth, they were happy. They were married to kind, humble men, farmers, hunters, and fishermen who worked hard and loved them deeply. That made Nena even more jealous. "Let them keep their poor love," she would hiss. "I will wear gold from head to toe. I will ride in a horse carriage. I will be worshipped like a queen." Then came market day. The village of Ukonu was filled with music, laughter, and the smell of spices. Women shouted prices of tomatoes and okra. Children played under mango trees. Drummers beat their drums gently under the sun. Nena dressed in her finest wrapper. Her blouse sparkled like stars. She tied a bright red cloth on her head and rubbed her skin with palm oil until it glowed like the moon. She walked through the market slowly, swinging her waist like a queen. People stared, but not just because of her beauty. "She's beautiful," an old woman whispered, "but her heart is empty. She walks like the ground owes her something," a young boy giggled. Nena didn't care. She loved the attention. Then something happened. She bumped into someone. Her basket fell. So did the other person's firewood. Wood rolled across the dusty ground. It was Mama Nkechi, the oldest woman in Ukonu. Her back was bent with age. Her hands shook from years of work. She tried to pick up her firewood but slipped and fell to her knees. The crowd gasped. "Oh no, that's Mama Nkechi." Nena stood over her, looking disgusted. "Why are you standing in my way like a bush goat? You ruined my fine clothes." Mama Nkechi looked up slowly. Her voice was soft. "My child, I am sorry. My eyes are no longer sharp." Nena shouted, "Then stay inside your hut. Keep your rotten firewood far away from me." People began to murmur. "Nena, apologize. She's an elder. She's old enough to be your grandmother." But Nena hissed and walked away, lifting her chin proudly. Mama Nkechi stayed on her knees, gathering her wood. Then she raised her hands to the sky. Her voice was soft, but it shook the air like thunder. "Nena, the mirror you love will soon turn its back on you. May your beauty melt like candle wax. May your pride become your prison. You will not see beauty again." Until you live with the ugliest man on earth. Only then will your heart learn. The market went silent. Even the birds stopped chirping. That night, Nena sat in front of her mirror. She touched her cheek and smiled. What a silly old woman. Her words are like dust. But as she looked closer, the mirror began to shimmer. A tiny crack spread across the glass. Her reflection shifted strangely. She touched the mirror. It was hot. She pulled her hand back, confused. What kind of joke is this? The next morning, a scream shook the village. Mama Aya! People rushed to the Okoro compound. There, in the doorway, stood Nena, crying, shaking, holding her face. Her once smooth skin was rough like sandpaper. Her nose had grown wide. Her lips were dry and cracked. Her hair had fallen out in patches. Her glowing eyes were dull and lifeless. Mama! Look at me! This is not my face. Mama Okoro gasped and held her close. My daughter, this is the result of pride. You insulted Mom Nkechi. You refused to help. You mocked your friends. I'll say sorry. I'll find her and beg her. I'll sweep her compound and cook for her. Nena cried. But when they went to Mom Nkechi's house, it was empty. She was gone. No one knew where she had gone or if she would return. After Mama Nkechi vanished, Nena became a shadow of herself. She covered her mirror with a cloth. She stopped wearing shiny clothes. She no longer walked proudly in the market or swung her hips like a queen. She stayed inside her hut, hiding her face. Her voice became quiet. Her laughter, once loud and proud, was now a soft whisper that never came out. People in the village whispered, "Did you hear what happened to Nena? Her beauty disappeared like smoke. She now looks like burnt groundnut shells," others said. Some laughed. Some felt sorry for her. One evening, as the sky turned orange and birds flew home, a mysterious traveler entered Ukonu village. He wore a long robe and a wide straw hat covered his face. He didn't greet anyone. He walked straight to the Okoro family's hut and knocked. Knock, knock. Mama Okoro opened the door. Yes? Can I help you? The stranger said in a deep voice, I bring a message for Nena. Nena stepped out, covering her face with a scarf. The traveler handed her a small calabash. Inside was a piece of folded white cloth with a message written in charcoal. Your curse will only break when you marry the oldest, ugliest man alive. A man with rotten teeth, smelly skin, and many demands. Marry him not with your body, but with your soul. Only then will you be free. Nena's hands shook. Marry a monster? She cried. To be free. For 3 days she did not eat. She stared into space. She remembered how she used to laugh at others. How she once said, only a king deserves me. Now her pride had turned into pain. Then, one morning before the sun rose, there was another knock. Knock, knock, knock. It was loud, heavy, almost like thunder. Mama Okoro opened the door again. This time, she screamed and stepped back. There, in front of their hut, stood a man so ugly, it felt like a bad dream. His name was Judas. He was short and round like a calabash. His belly shook like jello. He had only 3 brown teeth in his mouth. His skin was wrinkled like dry okra, and he smelled like rotten fish left in the sun. He wore one red wrapper and a dirty shirt that didn't match. He held a wooden stick and chewed loudly on something that smelled like fermented beans. I heard you're looking for a husband, he said, grinning. I am Judas. I have come to marry Nena. Nena came out slowly. When she saw him, her heart dropped like a stone. She wanted to scream. But then, she saw her reflection in a bowl of water by the door. Her face still cursed. Her hair still gone. Her eyes still dim. She remembered the words, only then will you be free. So she looked at Judas, held her breath, and said, yes, I accept. The village shook with shock. Nena is marrying that creature? Is this a joke? Did she lose her mind? But Nena said nothing. The wedding was quiet. No drums. No dancers. No ululation. Just whispers and wide eyes. Nena wore an old faded dress. Judas wore torn clothes and mismatched slippers. There were no smiles. Only silence. That night, their small hut was hot and stuffy. Judas snored so loud the window shook. Is it a lion? Nena whispered, eyes wide in fear. His feet smelled like spoiled yam. He drooled when he slept. Every time he turned, he farted. Nena sat by the window, tears in her eyes. This is my punishment, she whispered. But I must learn. I must change. The next morning, Judas shouted, Cook my food. My back itches, scratch it. Wash my feet. He ordered her like a servant. He shouted for no reason. This soup tastes like stone. Why are you breathing so loud? Be quiet. But Nena said nothing. She woke up early. She cleaned the hut. She fetched water. She washed his clothes that smelled like forgotten onions. So Nena began to change. She smiled at children again. She apologized to Zoba and Isioma, her old friends. She began helping the old women carry firewood. She even greeted beggars and shared her food. One day, in the market, a small girl fell and scraped her knee. Nena ran to help her. She cleaned the wound and gave the girl roasted corn. Under a mango tree nearby, Mama Nkechi sat quietly, watching. She nodded and whispered, She has changed. That night, Nena lay awake, watching the moon through the window. Judas was snoring like thunder again. She whispered, If I ever become beautiful again, I will never laugh at others. I will never forget what it feels like to be broken. That night, Mama Nkechi appeared in her dream. She glowed like silver moonlight. Her voice was gentle and warm. My daughter, she said, your beauty has returned, not on your skin, but in your heart. You are now truly beautiful. When you wake, you shall see. Nena opened her eyes before dawn. She rushed to the water pot and looked inside. She screamed, but this time, it was a happy scream. Her skin was smooth again. Her eyes sparkled. Her hair grew long and full. Her lips were red and soft. Her beauty had returned, but it felt deeper, stronger, wiser. She ran outside singing. The villagers came out in wonder. Nena, you're beautiful again. The curse is broken. Judas came out too, blinking at the sun. He saw her and stepped back. You're not my wife. My wife was ugly. Nena smiled kindly. Thank you, Judas. You were part of my journey. But who will cook for me now? He cried. She handed him a calabash of food. May you find someone who loves you as you are. Then she walked away. Her parents hugged her with tears in their eyes. Soon, a handsome prince from a faraway kingdom heard the story of Nena, the girl who changed from proud to humble, from cruel to kind. He came to Ukonu, saw her, and fell in love, not just with her face, but with her heart. Their wedding was the biggest the village had ever seen. Drums echoed. Dancers danced. Women sang and ululated. Even the trees seemed to dance with joy. But Nena never forgot. She treated her servants kindly. She played with children. She greeted elders and helped anyone in need. She even visited Judas once and gave him new clothes and soap. She no longer worshipped her mirror, because now her true beauty lived inside her. And so, the girl who once worshipped her reflection found something more powerful than beauty. She found humility. She found kindness. And most of all, she found herself. Because real beauty isn't in what you see, it's in how you treat others when no one is watching. Nena's journey reminds us that pride blinds, but humility opens the heart. That no matter how far we fall, we can rise again if we learn to love, not just ourselves, but those around us. And sometimes, it takes a curse to reveal the blessing hiding in our soul. So the next time you look in the mirror, ask not, how do I look? But, how do I love? What did this story teach you? Share your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another powerful tale. Thank you for watching. Stay kind, stay true, and keep believing in the magic of stories.